I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Yeah, Sinéad O'Connor, 56 years old, no longer with us, Gina.
Yeah. As we record this literally, as they say in the newsroom, just came across the wire. I haven't read the article yet. I don't know how specific it gets in terms of the reason for her passing.
I haven't either. 5 minutes ago, I saw this come across my Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And three things crossed my mind. First I thought she had to kill herself because she's had a rough life.
She has.
And she's had suicidal tendencies before. And in fact, that's how she did die. And you know me, everything reminds me of something else.
Sure.
The man who penned that song, no longer with us.
That's right, Prince.
And the other person to make it famous after Sinead O'Connor, also dead of suicide.
Who?
Are you kidding me? Chris Cornell.
Oh my God, I forgot he did it. He did an incredible version of that song. That's right.
Sure in the hell did.
Yeah, you're right. Oy vey. Really, really sorry to hear that. It did seem, covering the news and stuff as I have, been doing the last few years. It did seem that her mental health had been suffering. But what an artist.
Here's what I didn't know. Because I'm not a real Sinead O'Connor fan, so I've never kept up with her.
Right.
But just now, right while I was waiting for you to come on the Zoom, her son killed himself a year ago, and she never got over that. She never back from that, and I feel bad all the way around. I remember I've never met her, but I remember when I was living in Brentwood, and we're talking. This song was a big hit.
Oh yeah.
Right before, I mean, maybe one of the biggest hits in the world.
Yes.
I was in Santa Monica. It was right when they had converted 3rd Street to a 3rd Street promenade.
There was a time before the 3rd Street promenade?
That is correct.
Oh, whoa.
Matter of fact, early on when I first moved to LA in 90, some of the old stores, like there was an old Asian drugstore there that they couldn't push out. They still had like old stores,
right?
A Jewish deli here, and the Asian with the drugstore there and the whole thing.
Instead of Urban Outfitter and yogurt shops.
Right, yeah. Right. It wasn't all coffee shops and yogurt shops and buy a T-shirt. It wasn't just the open air mall. And I would go down there to go watch movies. I had no friends in town or anything else. I lived 2 or 3 miles away in Brentwood. And I would go down to watch anything that was on the screen. There was, folks, you got to remember, there was a time before cell phones or.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted, and I didn't have a television. If I wanted any entertainment, I had to go to the movies.
Wow.
That was just that.
Yeah.
And saw her down there more than once.
Really?
Just kind of roaming around. She'd bebop into the same movie I would walk into. And it was like, wow, that's one of the biggest recording stores on the planet right now, just hanging out. I mean,
wow.
That person just walked around.
Wow. And did she have her signature shaved hair at that point?
Well, that's why you would notice her.
Right, sure.
She was this gorgeous woman and this is before the day, again, something else you have to realize. Today you see a woman with a shaved head, you go, oh, that's Jada Pinkett. Anyone can have.
Yeah, glamorous, yeah.
Yeah, right. You could be the chick. I mean, it was before G.I. Jane.
Yes.
And Demi Moore had to shave her head for a movie. This was women didn't shave their heads. This woman walked around with a shaved head.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah,
it was shocking to see.
Not like a close crew cut, complete bald.
Yeah, clean shave. And people wouldn't really notice like they would now, like you said, Jada Pinkett or whatever, what a stunningly gorgeous woman she was and what a beautiful face she had, because they were like, what a freak, her head's shaved.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right about that. Wow.
So yeah, man. It's sad. 56, folks. If I tell us, I've made this announcement on the podcast before. I'll make it again. If you have any thoughts, any suicidal tendencies or thoughts or anything, just go talk to someone.
Yes.
I had a cousin who killed himself, And I had a few friends that killed themselves over the years, people I've known. You live long enough, you know people who have killed themselves.
Same, yeah.
The bottom line is, I was asking the sister of this cousin, I said, why did he do that? Like, not why. It was like, because I never knew he had problems. She said, you know what? He was just going through a rough time. If anyone would have paid attention to it or saw it, or if he had mentioned something to someone, he was just having a rough mental time and just took his life.
Oh, God.
It's really upsetting. It's really scary when people do that, but they do.
It is. And I used to tell people, I used to say on the Adam Carolla show, if you don't have anyone to talk to me. And I would get DMs from time to time from people saying, this is weird. And it always a little bit, I'm half in the bag. It's the middle of the night. I really am alone. And I would always write them back and we'd have little conversations. And the offer still stands. DM me at Gina Grad on Twitter, whatever the hell we're calling it now, X, Instagram, whatever. I'm happy to validate and acknowledge you, and we will chit chat. And hopefully, if not me, you reach out to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's our public service announcement for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gina, what do you have over there?
Besides a dog on my lap who's being very good and very quiet.
Luckiest dog on the planet, but go on.
Dog sitting again for the little prince, I call him, because nothing's too good for him when he's with us. So that's why he's on my lap. So I want to start by giving you a little announcement. I've been back on the good road for a while now, and not snacking and doing my NSNG. And really, when you are NSNG, you don't snack because you don't have the same problems. Is there any way we could stop for a second? There's somebody banging on my door.
Well, you know what? I'll do an ad. You go.
You do an ad. Oh, Lord.
Folks, I don't know when this is coming out, and I wasn't planning on doing this ad, but if this show actually comes out, I don't know. It's not coming out until next Wednesday, but God, so you'll miss that anniversary 25% off at NSNG Foods. But hey, you can still go to NSNG Foods and get the ultra fat. It'll be there waiting for you. And that's all the vamping I'm going to do because Gina is in fact back.
Just to give a little, am I good? Okay.
You're good.
Just to give now the dog wants out. Oy vey's I texted the super. We're getting a new stove. Please come after 1:30. So he's here now, which is an hour and 15 minutes early. And he's installing a stove now with a dog that wants to get out.
At least you can cook later.
Anyway, sorry about that. Because how would it go any other way?
Podcasting, honey, is what happens.
That's why I said, can we stop? All right. So want to first tell you that because I've been, back on track and doing what I'm meant to be doing and eating the way I'm meant to be eating. And, we're a real steak family here these days. I have seen the scale move, and that's great. That's what everybody wants. That's the validation that we all, seek when we're making lifestyle changes. And I have to tell you, I got kind of sad. I got kind of frustrated because I'm the opposite. Everybody in all these, I'm in all the Facebook groups and I hear everything. They say, well, the scale's not moving. I mean, my pants fit better and my clothes fit better, but I want to see those numbers drop. Well, I'm the opposite. I'm going, well, the scale's moving, but everything fits. I still feel like they popped a can of Pillsbury dough. So yesterday, and I'm not where I should have put them on and modeled them for you. I do have a picture in them. Yesterday, I said, you know what? The hell with it. Let's just put on these jeans that I bought that I could not. It's not that I couldn't button them. It's that the two sides of the fabric of the denim wouldn't meet. It wasn't just, oh, if I suck it. No. They weren't even close to meeting. Well, I'm happy to say I put on these jeans, and not only did they fit like a glove, but they were a little teeny bit roomy. And I can finally say, oh my God, the progress feels great. I'm just going to show you here. You can see they're actually kind of loose. I'll text you the picture. But I was so thrilled to say, finally, the results I can feel. And I do not only owe that to NSNG, of course, but NSNG helps so much with intermittent fasting because I'm not snacking. I don't eat after dinner. Dinner's always early, and then food is over. Then we're done eating.
Right.
So that's easy. However, the New York Post put out an article by and I know this is your favorite, the Journal of Epidemiology,
Huh.
who knows all, statistically, that it's not healthy to intermittent fast. The research they publish tracked eating habits of more than 103,000 adults, 79% women, for 7 years. Again, epidemiologically, there were 963 new cases of type 2 diabetes among the participants in the study, and people who regularly ate breakfast after 9 a.m. had a 59% higher rate of type 2 diabetes than the ones that ate an early breakfast. And then this woman, the lead author of the study, says, biologically, this makes sense, as skipping breakfast is known to affect glucose and lipid control as well as insulin levels. And another behavior that seemed to increase type 2 was having a late dinner, which, I think we can sort of agree with that. But if you wait until later to eat your first meal, then the epidemiological study will tell you you're going to get type 2 diabetes.
Okay. First off, I want to talk about, I just saw your picture you sent to me.
Yeah.
Did you say those were new jeans, Gina?
Those were those sort of aspirational jeans that I bought but couldn't fit into and just left them in the drawer. And I said, I'm going to pull them out and try them on.
Where did you buy them?
Good question, because I buy a lot of stuff that I end up putting in a drawer. I think these might be Free People.
You might want to give them a call. They got holes in them, Gina.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Which I never do, but I thought they were cool.
No,
and
they
so
are.
I bought the ripped
You look
jeans.
great. You look fabulous. And
thank you.
Right, there is room in those jeans.
I was going to say I might need to go down a size.
You have what they call an NSV. Do you know what that is?
NSV, no sugar vaginally. And I don't do that. I never eat it that way.
It's okay to take sugar vaginally.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Okay.
Non-scale victory. You have
that's right.
Non-scale victory.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was just, I do the consults every day, 5 days a week. People can sign up at vinnietortorich.com and get a consult. Just got off the phone with a guy. And I was talking about one of the things. Now, this is not a major thing, but this is one of the things that happens nowadays that didn't happen when, say, I was a kid.
Okay.
Even in my 20s or 30s. Yeah, 30s, something like that. It probably started happening in the early 90s. Women started doing this. Women would wear tights to the gym. It started in the 80s with Jane Fonda. You would pair it, and then you would wear like the
leg warmers,
the stripper stuff over it. So you put the on, and then you pull this thing up your ass.
Yes. So you basically had a thong back lycra leotard over tights. Right.
And women would go to the gym like that. And on the way to the gym, they would wear what I called an ass flag to the gym. Right. They would have like a little sarong, to walk in, or they would wear jeans over that, but you would see the top, and they would walk to the gym. Somehow there was enough, you had to be somewhat demure. It was okay to be in the gym with this equipment on. But when you left the gym, the ass flag had to go back on, or the jeans, and that kind of thing.
Polite society.
Right. And then at some point, we lost the T-bottoms, or we lost the whole suit. Kind of the whole suit. And then they had just the T-bottoms. And then women went, why are we pulling this thing up our ass? We'll just wear the tights. We went to that.
That's T-bottoms. God, that's so funny. Yes.
And then, or a G-string. It was basically a G-string.
It was a G-string.
So women got rid of that, and they just started wearing the tights. And then somehow they lost the ass flag. That just went away. And they quit wearing the jeans over the thing.
Right.
And then they went a step further, because by this point, a place called Starbucks was taking over the land.
Oh, I haven't heard of it. What is that?
It's really bad coffee, but they convince you it's good.
Got it.
And sometimes you speak mostly English, but sometimes you have to ask things in broken Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
can't say, give me the 20 ouncer. You have to say venti.
Oh, you don't say small, medium, and large at this newfangled coffee place?
Oh, I said I would like a large once, and they didn't know what to do. At any rate, the Starbucks place comes around. And so mommies, they would wake up and they would go, okay, I have to drive my kid to school. No one's going to see me in line at the school. I can wear the gym clothes.
Yep.
Go straight to the gym. I work out. But now they got what you would call a conundrum.
Do tell.
Because their friend would say, after the gym, let's go grab a Starbucks. But the ass flag is now gone by the wayside because they were just going to go to school and straight to the gym. No one would see them.
Yeah, you just get out of the car once.
Oh, what the hell? Let's just go to Starbucks with our sweaty crotches that you can see in the lycra. No problem. Because Vinny's not going to be in there. He's not going to. He wants to enjoy his crappy coffee. He doesn't want to see a sweaty crotch. Who wants that? But it was game on. After that, it became all day long. And then after that, it became a fashion statement.
Oh, yeah. My stepson goes to school in Beverly Hills, and all the richest women on the planet Earth, all in sweats.
Not sweats, stretchy lycra clothes.
Yeah, athleisure.
Okay. And I knew we were fucked as a nation when they started flaring the legs out.
Yeah, the flare, of course.
Now, folks, I don't mean to get gross here, but here goes.
I can't wait.
In 1979, you ask anyone my age, you got friends my age, you got your Tim Conway Jr.
Yeah.
You got your Adam Carolla.
Sure.
Your husband might be a little too young to know this, but
indeed,
1979, if we saw a chick with tight jeans on and you could see the panty lines, that was enough to send us into orbit. It was like panty lines.
Oh, it was a simpler time.
Oh my God. It's like, dude, I can see the outline of her ass. I can see, because guys, I mean, that's what you do. That's all.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not being a pig here.
You had the Sears catalog and a couple of visible panty lines.
Yeah, that the whole look. Girls wore push-up bras. They weren't doing that to push their boobs up. They were pushing it up so we could think they had more boobs.
That's right.
Everything girls did was to, hey, I'm going to
allure.
I'm going to paint the stuff on my face. I'm going to spray the stuff on and make me smell different. I'm going to push up my tits, and I want a guy to take me for who I am. Well, fuck, I don't know who you are. I know who you want me to think you are.
Oh my God.
But I got a feeling when you take all those clothes off, the boobs are going to drop and the ass is going to drop and the panty lines are going to be dug in and the whole thing. It's not going to be pretty.
It's a mess.
At any rate, that would drive us nuts. I could not imagine being a kid today.
Oh.
I mean, you can almost do a vaginal exam with some of these women.
It's a full-on assault visually.
It is. You cannot go anywhere. You could go into a fine restaurant. People are walking in tights.
Yes.
Now, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent on tights, but there's something else that tights offer.
May I guess?
Go on.
Suction?
Well, I wasn't going to go that far in that direction, but yes.
Support?
Oh, now they got the ones I've been made aware that it scoops under your ass.
Yes.
It's like a tighter part.
Yes. And then it's
creases down your ass.
Yes. It's kind of puckered, so it looks like you have a giant ass.
Yeah.
That's very popular at the gym.
Yeah, that's the thing. They tuck it and they do.
Yeah. They tuck it, they suck it.
But here's the thing.
What?
When you start wearing lycra, you have a very, very forgiving fabric. So you see, we can't feel ourselves gaining weight.
Yep.
Because the outfit moves with you.
That's right. The legs feel supported because they're tights, and the waistband is so forgiving.
Yeah. And the one thing that it smooths over, cellulite.
That's right.
Moves it all over. It fixes everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I think even in undergarment speak, it's called fat displacement because it's kind of squishing it down.
Yeah. Hell, I had a friend who made a product, Rhonda Shear, where you wore these garments underneath, squished all your stuff around to make you look perfect.
Yeah. And, what's her name? Kathy Najimy. I'm sure, comedian. She came out with a product called Charms, CH''arms, which are basically tights for your arms to suck in the bat wings.
Yeah. So we're doing all this stuff. It doesn't make you healthy. It gets you to hide the problem for a bit longer, and it allows you not to notice the problem coming on. I didn't know this. And Gina, this is going to make me sound like a complete and utter idiot.
I can't wait.
My wife explained to me just a couple of months ago, because I still wear Levi 501s
Of course you
and I
do.
wear Wranglers.
Yep.
Those are the only two.
Yep.
Right?
That's a very Vinny thing to do.
Why would I go in it with the same size?
Yeah.
I know exactly what to get. My wife explained to me that the jeans stretch, because I was like, how did that woman get into those?
It's a thing.
And she goes, oh, that's stretched over. That's almost like a lycra. I said, so wait, is jeans? She goes, oh yeah, all that stuff stretches. And she goes, I have some. I went in her class. She showed me they stretch.
They do have a few percent lycra to forgive easier. You're right.
Yeah. So we're doing everything to not
Yes.
notice that we're gaining weight as a society, and it's game on.
And I know you would have no idea. In fact, had I known this conversation would go there, I would have sent you the commercial, which I still will. But you don't get these targeted ads. On Instagram, there's a jean company, I believe called, maybe it's Good American. I think it's by the Kardashians. And there's 3 plus size women, 1 plus, 1 double plus, and 1 triple plus. And they say, these jeans fit all of us from a 12 to an 18, and I'm going to put them on, then she's going to put them on. So the whole vibe, the whole reason is that they stretch 4 sizes. They have so much lycra in them.
4 sizes.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, Gina. It's truly amazing.
And we've come to rely on those. So when you put on old school jeans, you're like, oh boy, what is wrong with these pants? What is this? It's because they don't have lycra in them. And that's why, frankly, I was afraid to try these jeans, because I had nothing in my favor. And I put them on and I said, oh my God, a real milestone, real jeans, a real milestone. So I get it. And you're right. Vanity sizing is real. To hear that Marilyn Monroe was, size 12 or a size 14. That's not today's size 12 or size 14.
No. She would have been in today's world a 6.
Yeah.
So folks, don't let that get away from you. Now, to answer the second part of what Gina talked about, and this is going to take a lot less time because it's bullshit. That study is so far off. That epidemiological study is so far off because we don't know what it's not controlled. Watch, I'm going to do this. And by the way, folks, Gina is a Mensa member. She's a member. Your IQ is above what, 150, 160?
No, it's above 130 something, I think is the minimum, but it's pretty high if I do say so. And I do have the Mensa card.
Gina she's a Mensa member, right? Gina, I don't want you to take any break when I ask you this question.
Okay.
What did you have for lunch 2 days ago?
Hold on. Let me just wait. Wednesday, Monday. I have no idea. Maybe.
What did you have for lunch the Saturday before that?
I don't know. I don't even know if I had lunch. I don't remember.
Did you have dinner that day, or did you guys go out and stay home?
I don't know. A week from Saturday ago?
Not a week. No, a week from. I'm talking about last Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Hold on. We may have gotten barbecue.
What time did you have breakfast yesterday? It was a Mensa member, folks.
Hold on, because I don't do breakfast at the hour you people do it. I don't. Maybe 11:30. Maybe noon.
She couldn't tell me one thing. What did you eat last night for dinner?
Hold on. Just now you're making me nervous. We had a steak. I made a steak.
Okay.
Ribeye.
These people fill out these cards. And by the way, everyone will do things. We all do. I do it. We all do it. It's human nature to want to say we did something we didn't do because we want to think better of ourselves.
We round up.
We round up as humans, right? It's, like I used to go bowling with Tallulah. I sucked at bowling. If I got a 145, by the time I left that alley, if my buddy asked me, 175, I don't know, 180, right?
Wait, in bowling, you want to go the other direction.
Yeah, you want to go higher, right?
No,
you think.
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of golf.
And you're in Mensa. But you understand what I'm saying? And so there's never been a food study like that has ever proved anything. And Harvard should know better.
Well, and that's why I had never even heard the word or knew anything about the word epidemiology until I met you. Like, well, what does that word even mean? It sounds scientific. It's a big 10-cent word. And you would say it's bullshit. And I go, well, excuse me, but who are you to say that this big word is bullshit? And now that I understand that it basically means, from memory, write this down and we'll make a sweeping decision off of it. I agree.
Yeah, and you said 1,200 people. They didn't find Mensa members.
103,000 people. Yeah. And what they found was that a lot of them who claimed to eat a late breakfast got type 2 diabetes. And I always think of you as well, because I think of, what do you say? Causation.
Causation is a correlation.
Right. So what else are they doing?
Well, let me make an argument. You said people who say they had a late breakfast.
Right.
Who have late breakfasts? Who would have a late breakfast?
Maybe somebody who goes to sleep really, really late.
You have people who work dog shift. Meaning all night long.
Yeah, third shift.
That includes nurses, doctors, strippers, bartenders,
the heroes,
truckers.
Yeah.
These are people who sleep late in the day. Guess who have the biggest problem with weight loss because of we're not nocturnal animals as humans. I've had people who have gone from working day shift their entire life. They go right to night shift and gain weight.
Vinnie Tortorich, I can tell you this for a fact. You met me my first year of waking up at 3 a.m. and working until 4 p.m. I put on almost 25 pounds because my body felt like, and I know this word's thrown around a lot, but waking up at that hour every night was a trauma. Every morning I would wake up like that because I had to get to the radio station and then I had to go to Corolla, and my brain was just like, oh God, Cheetos, Diet Coke, Cheetos, cookies. What do we? And I'm not a sugar person. Right. And I am the reason. He can say I'm not, but I can tell you for almost a fact, I am the reason that Adam Carolla had the vending machine taken out of the warehouse, because I'd come in wild-eyed, exhausted, out of it, ready to do a second show, and just stand in front of it, open chips and eat while I was trying to figure out what chips to pick next. My body was just completely disordered. So I'm agreeing with you 100%.
No, I've seen it over and over and over again. So folks, you have to look at reality in reality's terms. You can't just sit around and go, oh, yeah, these people, no, Harvard has been so wrong about so many things. It's not even, Gina knows my thing is always, if it comes out of Harvard, I'm already discounting it.
Yeah.
Because Harvard is not a university. It's a bunch of whores taking money. That's all it is. Folks, Gina Grad is on a podcast every week. Twice a week, I think.
Twice a week, called The Brian and Gina Show, the official podcast of Los Angeles Magazine. We actually, depending on when this one airs, one of the closest ones to this show, here's the dog-faced boy. We have Michelle McPhee on, who is an incredible investigative journalist talking about, a break in the Tupac Shakur murder case.
Really?
There is a break after 27 years. They have just got a search warrant to search a house in Henderson, Nevada, because he was killed in Vegas. Could be connected to Biggie, could be connected to Jam Master Jay. All kinds of interesting stuff. Also, some information on the 20-year-old, they're calling her the Percocet princess, who sold Robert De Niro's grandson the drugs that he just OD'd on and died.
Wow.
So Michelle knows all. So definitely tune into the latest episode. And I will just tell you, Vinny, because I don't know if you know, I host that one solo because Brian is now recovering and was in surgery that day for a brain biopsy. This chokes me up. That was never possible for him. I
heard about that on the episode before when you were talking about staycation.
Okay, so so he had a brain biopsy. His tumor, my co-host Brian Bishop, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, his tumor was always in a place that could not be biopsied, cannot be worked on, inoperable. And 14 years later, we have the technology. They grabbed a piece of it. They will now know for the first time exactly what they're working with. And so tune in, because Brian, I'm sure, will be giving us a full recap on at least what he remembers.
Yeah, Brian has been through the ringer. He's got some kind of record, right, for the longest person to live with that type of glioblastoma?
It's very possible because he's been, I mean, you think, oh, what's lucky about Brian when you get a brain tumor diagnosis? But right when he got it, and Dr. Drew said that is a death sentence, he was eligible at that moment for a brand new medicine, a clinical trial that doesn't work on everybody. He got in, it worked on him. So it's been able to keep it at bay for 14 years until, science has developed a way for him to get biopsied.
One of my closest friends, he was called the king of the MOWs, movies of the week.
My favorite.
Back in the 70s, guy had the biggest house in, not Holmby Hills, the biggest house in Hancock Park.
Oh, yes. Love
Been on the golf course.
Oh, yeah.
He got the same sort of glioblastoma that Brian had. Same hospital, same doctors. He gave, he said, look, instead of waiting to put me on experimental drugs, here's $14 million to add a wing or to do whatever you guys want to do with. Give me all the experimental drugs right now. And they did.
Wow.
He had a 6-month diagnosis to live. He was dead inside of 4.
No.
Yeah. And that was after I knew Brian. That was, yeah.
Oh, I got goosebumps. How horrible. And what that tells me is that whatever they gave him, he did not have the kind that was responsive to those or receptive.
It did not work on.
Yeah. And it worked on Brian.
Whatsoever.
Wow.
And that, yeah, I remember watching in his theater, in his home, watching that last Super Bowl with him.
Wow.
Knowing that he knew, I knew. I ate popcorn that night because he had popcorn, and he was like, "Hey, let's have some popcorn." It was like, anything you want to do, I'm here.
Wow.
I'm Huckleberry.
Wow.
And we watched that game, just the two of us in this big giant theater. And I'm looking around this theater, and folks in Hollywood, these mansions, these gorgeous mansions, all these people that in a movie, they have their own theaters.
Yep.
With stadium seating and the whole thing.
Surround sound, of course, everything.
And I'm sitting there with him, eating popcorn, watching the Super Bowl, and thinking, all of this, you're not taking any of it with you.
Nope.
None of it. None of it. At any rate, folks, Gina Grad, go watch that show. This is we started with Sinéad O'Connor, and we ended with this.
I know it's depressing, but it reminds me of that quote that I love. At the end of the game, the king and the pawn go back in the same box.
Yeah.
So it's not a great way to spend your life, with thinking less of anyone or anything like that, because we're all going to the same place.
And this he never did, by the way.
Yeah. If you were friends with him, of course he didn't. You don't hang with dudes like that.
Oh no, this guy gave so much money to help people. He started redeveloping downtown.
Oh my God, thank you, sir.
As a matter of fact, he did a movie while he was fixing up one of his downtown buildings. And you know what this is. It was the movie, it was a girl who's living downtown, fixing up an apartment, and her dad happened to be the guy from MASH.
Arkin.
So original MASH. Married to Babs.
It's Josh and Jay Brolin.
No, before Brolin, the first husband from the original.
Oh, Gould.
Elliot Gould is in the movie. Elliot Gould went on Corolla to promote the movie, and that was my buddy's movie.
The single worst interview of all time
in history. And the reason being is I said to my buddy, I said, dude, why did you guys? He's like, he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
It was some kind of joke. He didn't know he had never heard of a podcast before.
Yeah.
Didn't really know. We didn't know how big this show was, but it was the podcast heard around the world.
It really was a tough listen.
Yeah.
So if you want a slightly less tough listen, go to the Brian and Gina Show anywhere you listen to podcasts, the official podcast of LA Magazine. And My Extra Mom is still available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And I'm so excited because we are deep in the throes of My Extra Dad, a very different but similar themed book, and it's really exciting. It's really fun.
You can find it. I did a little video on My Extra Mom.
Yes.
And my Amazon page. So you go watch that. And whenever you go to Amazon, go to VinnieTortorich.com first, click through the banner and bookmark it. Use it every time. That's how we pay for this podcast and keep it free. We also have a super fan page, and we have the NSNG ebook. So much to do at VinnieTortorich.com. So check it out. Gina did remind me of a song here
Of course.
today. We were talking about wearing tight stuff, and it couldn't help me think about none other than Trace Atkins and Honky Tonk, Badonkadonk.